between Mario and like Peter Pan. Like, no.
Go with Mario.
Go with Mario. Always go with Mario. Hey, everybody. Welcome to New at Sideshow Live. Oh, I got it right on the first time. Right up there, it says New at Sideshow Live. We are live every day at 9 a.m. Pacific time on Sideshow's official channels to bring you guys not only the latest in pop culture news, but also some updates on our website, because the website is always updating and there's some things that you might miss. So we've got a lot going on in the world of pop culture today, and I am joined by my three lovely co-hosts. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm Rob. I'll be showing you what's going on streams and giveaway-wise, and then going over the pop culture headlines.
Ooh.
I'm Robin. I'm going to be sharing some community pictures today, submitted by our collectors, and I'm also going to be talking about the cool stuff that is now being posted and streaming.
Yay! And I'm Missy. I'm going to talk to you about what is Now at Sideshow and the deal of the day, as well as stories, as Alex would do, from the blog.
That's what they're all here for. They're here for the deal of the day. Dang it.
I don't know when the blog became such an odious entity in our rising from the swamps.
I want theme music. I want, like, everybody should have their own theme music that they.
We're still working on it. We're still working on it. And I am going to be doing our best to keep this show on the road. So
I think you have the hardest task out of all of us. Keeping it on the rails.
Mm-hmm. Can we get a visual quickly on that rundown, Rob? I forgot that we also have a handy dandy graphic. So here is the order of our show. Again, we've got today at Sideshow. That will be live streams and events happening. Then we've got now at sideshow.com for the product-oriented people here. Then, of course, that deal of the day. We've got our collector community pulled from submissions that you guys shared, pop culture headlines from the blog, and this week in streaming. So I like how the front half is the collector stuff, and then the back half is just the general world of pop culture. So, Rob, let's get started. What's going on today at Sideshow?
All right. So, aside from our stream right now, there is also an Unsealed and Revealed starting at 10 a.m. Pacific time. They're going to be featuring the Michael Myers Deluxe 6 scale from Sideshow. So that should be a really cool one. That'll be on the Sideshow YouTube channel, Sideshow's Facebook page, and in the Let Your Geek Sideshow Facebook group.
Nice.
So that's the only other stream.
Got a lot of cool accessories.
I have to say, I'm biased because our stream is the coolest, but I can recommend the other streams later on today.
They'll do some okay work.
Guy and Terry seem to know what they're doing.
Yeah, these guys are all right. They're all right.
They're all good.
And aside from that, we do have a couple of giveaways going on right now. First up is the Venom number 35 200th issue anniversary fine art print by Mark Mastrazo. This is on our site running until June 25th at 10 a.m. Pacific. You can find that by going to side.show/symbiosis. That is a really cool print.
$20 word.
I also like to encourage people to read the rules before they join the giveaway.
It's a good idea. You always read those terms and conditions. They'll get you. All right. And then we also have the Vampirella fine art print by Sun Kamunaki on our site running until June 25th, 10 a.m. Pacific time. That one can be found at side.show/blooddrive. And then one more giveaway running currently, and that's for our newsletter giveaway of the THOR Infinity War 6 scale. And that's running until June 30th.
Just see Amy's bright,
I forgot it was still June. Oh boy, he's still here.
Yep, that one's going until June 30th, 10 a.m. Pacific time. And you can find that at side.show/newsworthy. And those are all of the other streams and giveaways happening today.
Nice.
All right.
That feels so short.
After the event week, it's like, ooh, that's it, huh? We'll have 5 other streams and 20 giveaways.
The art prints.
We do lots of giveaways throughout the month, so I encourage people to visit our site to see. We should have a list on the site of all the different giveaways that are happening across the channel. So, yeah, we got tons of stuff going on.
And aside from Thor's short link being amazing, that's my favorite non-Iron Man 6 scale that I have. I love that Thor.
That is a hearty endorsement from one such as you.
Right? You put him under black light, his eyes glow. Like, it's amazing. I love it.
All right.
I need that.
We got another vote for Thor.
No, I like long-haired Thor though. I've got all the long-haired Thors, but I could let this one into my heart.
Okay.
What about Fat Thor? You got Fat Thor?
I know. I mean, I think he's still on pre-order, but
Sweater.
I like the braided beard hair one, like where he's got the armor. He looks kind of like a young Odin. Don't even get me started on that. I loved that design for him. So good. Up next, hey Misty, you want to tell us what's going on at Sideshow.com?
I do. And let's see, our first item here is the Sorcerer Mickey PVC figure by Enesco LLC. I did not realize that this is commemorating the 80th anniversary of the movie Fantasia. I was in one of the many re-releases in the theater when I was little, and I was like, oh wow, this was old when I saw it. And now I'm like, wow.
Now it's even older.
It's geriatric.
No, I love it. It's a fantastic, fantastic film. And he's dressed in a cloth teak robe with metallic printed velour. He comes to life on the rocky ledge, ready to call on the magic brooms. And he is at side.show/magicmouse. He's so cute.
I love that that's mixed media too. I didn't realize that until really looking in there.
I look at his little robe. It's so cute.
I thought it was all sculpture, so that's cool.
Yeah. Look at the little guy.
I love it. And the movie too, like my dad was like, classical music, we're going to introduce it to you this way. And it worked. And I've used it as an art lesson when I've had to cover art classes. It works very well that way too. Yeah. So very neat.
Sneaky.
Sneaky. We're going to teach you things.
And you're going to like it.
How dare you?
And next up is one of Rob's favorite brands. I know that. We have the Farewell My Concubine figure by Mana Sum, and oh my goodness, it's so cute. I love it. I went and looked it up this morning because I wasn't aware of this one yet. This is a 6.3-inch tall figurine, and it is limited to 1,500 worldwide. And this is presented by Sideshow and Mana Sum, and I love the action and the movement. And I think the little guy, is he holding a spoon?
Yeah, the one's holding 2 spoons, and
is there
the
like
big one's, he's got a bowl
like
and some chopsticks.
Looks kind of like the crawfish one too, like the same little.
Yeah, very much in that same style and same vein.
Love it so very much.
The forehead on top of the second figure, what is it? Like
the little
frog
thing.
Or a caterpillar or something?
It's like a frog.
It's adorable.
You can go to Side.show.
It is so cute. And that is at side.show/something else. SUM. Very, very cute. Next up, this dude is just awesome looking. This is the Lobo Maquette by Sideshow Collectibles. I have gotten to write about this guy several times, and every time I do, I look at him more, and he's just cooler and cooler. He is 20 inches tall and 23 inches wide, so he's a bigger boy. He is an intergalactic bounty hunter, blowing some minds and stomping some skulls like only the baddest Bastich can. Standing on the guts and gibs of some unfortunate aliens, Lobo plays a killer riff on a 3-barreled guitar gun. This insanely detailed and deadly musical weapon is packed with Easter eggs, including a frag count and a couple of space dolphins hidden on the back, because you know how the bow loves those fishies. And this can be found at side.show/mainman.
That was one of my favorite product summaries to write. Because
I knew
when
it.
it comes
I
to
knew
Lobo and Deadpool,
I
was going to be a little silly.
I was going to ask Amy if that was you.
Those fishies.
Yeah, there was absolutely no. When I was reading through that description, I'm like, it doesn't matter what I do as a short link, I'm never going to top what this description.
No,
I was defeated before I began.
My favorite, and you can't really see it in the view we have here, so you should go to the short link and check it out. My favorite detail of this whole piece, and it's hard to pick, is the fact that the bullet shells are coming out of the front of the guitar, and there's like a little Jacob's ladder of the shells just popping out of this, so it is very in motion, in action.
And another one that's mixed media too, correct? I think that his the jacket and his jeans.
Yeah, jacket and jeans, and then he's got the chain elements, I think, as well.
That thing is so cool and so big.
Did
And,
you guys see the kneecap protectors on there? The shields he has on his kneecap?
Yeah, with the little stars and everything.
Stars that looks like skull shape. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like one of those pieces you could just get lost taking in all the details.
The back of the jacket, as any good Lobo should, says "Bite me, fanboy."
So well done.
That is
A
wonderful.
classic.
Nice. That it is big. It's going to be, if you purchase this, you got to have a space for it.
Yep.
And a space
Prepare.
preferably where he's not precariously perched.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Pictures like that make me very nervous.
This is the kind of guy you build a shrine to. Like, he gets his own show.
Yeah, it gets its own spot.
Yeah. And last up, we have our featured deal of the day.
Deal of the day. Deal of the day.
And this is the life-size Nano Gauntlet replica by Hot Toys. The life-size replica of this Nano Gauntlet is a faithful reproduction of the iconic gauntlet worn by Iron Man in the final act of Avengers Endgame. It is 52 centimeters overall in height. It is tall. It is very tall. It's in my living room.
So I know this. From experience, you looked for it.
I did. I was like, yeah, it's big.
It's big.
Not as big as Thanos' glove, not as big as the Hulk's, but I mean, it's very, very decently sized. It features an accurate paint scheme, sophisticated hardware design, 6 LED light-up infinity stones, and there are 2 lighting modes, so you can have it on as a solid lit piece, or it does a breathing mode. So they kind of pulsate in and out at this really slow pace, and it just makes it look super cool. It has a custom base that it slides onto, and this is normally $377, but today you can take 10% off with code Gauntlet10, and there is free US shipping. And this is available at Side.show/safety glove. And I can't because that one got me.
Always practice good lab safety.
Yeah.
Oh, I like in YouTube, Mike Fiella tried to guess the short link before you put it up. he guessed talk to the hand, but
also
That's
a fine one.
That's a good one.
There are many other gauntlets.
Many other
of varying sizes too. So
Right. We'll have to keep that in mind. Talk to the little hand, talk to the big hand.
I'll keep bringing these back.
Just to make those short links.
the people demand it, Rob.
Who might argue? You got it, Mike.
Love it.
Another one up there.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Missy. Robin, you want to take us into a little bit of what our collectors have shared with us?
Oh my goodness, collector community, welcome. We love to share pictures that our collectors post to our different platforms, as well as share with us directly through our site. We have tons of different platforms, and if you or any new people want to share pictures, or if you have that really cool display, we love to see those too. You can go to side.show/how-to-share, and it's, oh dang, there you go, I got it.
Oh, you got it.
So we have hundreds of pictures that are submitted to us, and we try to jam them into shows when we can, because we love to share the creativity of our collectors. It's just amazing. And unfortunately, we task Rob with selecting the pictures, so please don't get mad at me if I haven't selected your picture, because I don't do that. It's just too much pressure. I can't handle that kind of pressure. But our collectors are so creative and funny. So it's amazing to see some of these pictures, and I don't envy Rob to try and have to whittle them down. Our first selection is Two-Face, submitted directly by Eric M, and that's Eric with a K, Eric M. And he did some really dramatic lighting on this piece, which is amazing.
Yeah, that's the lighting he did, and I love that because that figure comes with his coin, so he's actually holding that coin in his hand. So it's a nice little kind of subtle pose. Yep, and with that lighting, it really makes that figure kind of come to life.
You can also see the textures on the fabrics.
Yeah.
And also the detailing on the one side of the face. It really picks up all the little tiny details.
Yeah. Great job.
That is awesome. So that again was submitted directly to our site by Eric M. Eric with a K, because I know Erics with C's and K's, they get a little crazy. Got to make sure they're.
And the Erics with the CKs, all bets are off.
I know. Well, I mean, they just got all the bases covered, so they don't argue about it. Thank you so much for submitting that. And you could go to side.show/how-to-share. Amy did a wonderful job of giving everybody all the details to submit their pictures. So I am going to highly recommend that we make Rob's job even harder on a weekly basis.
The blog makes your job easier, so you can make Rob's job harder.
That's what I'm here for.
Now, the next up we have is Baby Groot, and this was submitted through our Instagram. And this was submitted from @CarlosHDTV. And it's just a really, really cute picture. It's just an awesome little picture. And the lighting is great. He's got the reflected lighting from the bomb pack underneath. Really awesome.
It's such a fun piece.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize until I saw some other videos that the clock actually counts down as it's on.
That's awesome.
That's really cool. Wow.
Such a great little piece, though.
Kind of weird to see him now without his little Ravager costume on, though. Like, oh, is he naked?
Oh, like, little Groot, are you cold?
And that, again, was submitted to our Instagram platform @CarlosHDTV. So thank you, Carlos. We appreciate your submission. Now, the last one we have, which is really cool, and I think because it's one of my favorites right now, is The Mandalorian. And that was submitted, again, to Instagram from RMD Collective. And it's spelled oddly, so we're going to put it down on the screen. And this is a really cool shot. It implies the walking movement and the lighting, and it's just amazing. It's amazing.
The angle of the shot makes it look like it's a person. Like
yeah,
it's a whole
that's
person.
exactly what I was thinking.
It makes it look like it's a shot from the series, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's been really cool seeing a lot of people take the Mandalorian, especially lately, has been making a lot of appearances in these outside photo shoots, and it just really suits the figure and the character.
I'm always all for people not being afraid to get a little dirt on their figures outside.
Well, those figures are just made for shots like this.
Yep.
Yeah.
I really find the creativity of our collectors amazing. So
absolutely.
Thank you so much, RMD Collective, for submitting this through our Instagram platform. And again, we're on Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. So please make sure that you join us on any one of those platforms. And if you have pictures that you'd like to share and have us share with the world, with the video world, please go to side.show/how-to-share, because everybody's got to learn how to share sometime.
We want your pictures.
We want your pictures.
We
also do a weekly blog feature, sometimes grouped by theming of collectibles. So if we get a lot of Iron Man or we get a lot of Mandalorian, we will feature those as well. So that's just another outlet for your photographs.
Perfect. And that's what's going on in the collecting community.
Awesome. All right, Rob, let's pull up that graphic one more time since we're about halfway through. Give everybody a brief refresher. If you're just joining us, you are in the back half of New at Sideshow Live today. We're going to go over the pop culture headlines. Again, the kind of latest and greatest big buzz titles from this week. We've also got From the Blog.
The blog.
Thank you. There has to be other ways to say it that doesn't imply.
Yeah.
I think
what horrors have we dredged up?
Our last theme was From the Blog.
Thank you. From the blog. And then we'll cap it all off with This Week in Streaming.
That's me.
All right. Rob, you want to take us in with the latest and greatest?
The pop culture headlines. All right. First up, Paramount revealed new images for their upcoming animated series, Star Trek Prodigy. These images show the truly majestic landscapes the alien kids will traverse in their adventures. There's no release date or any really other kind of concrete information at this point, but these images are just gorgeous. So if this is the level of animation they're going to be achieving in the show, beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah. And then next up, Shazam! Fury of the Gods director David F. Sandberg shared the first image of the full Shazam family in all their superhero costumes. He shared it with the caption, "Don't know how long we can keep the suits from leaking, so here's a pic I took the other day."
Oh, wow.
I hope you're happy, Internet. You broke him. He knew he couldn't fight it and just shared it himself. So Shazam Fury of the Gods will be in theaters June 2nd, 2023. Oh my, 2023?
That doesn't seem real.
Those are made up. That's a made up number. I don't trust that.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, those costumes are great.
Mary Marvel, especially. I just love. I mean, they all look fabulous, and I'm so excited for this one. But I have an affinity for Mary Marvel. Just
does it look like the cast spent the last couple of years working out? They're looking pretty buff.
Yeah, someone was a little more productive in the pandemic than myself.
And I love it that it's like they're all these cute little children that now they're just these grown adults.
Turn into that. And that's what we have from the pop culture headlines today. But that wasn't all of the pop culture headlines. And if you want more pop culture headlines, go to side.show/pop podcast and hear Andrew deliver you fresh pop culture news every day, 365 days a year, weekends, holidays. It cannot be stopped. It cannot be contained. The pop culture headlines will continue.
I do listen to the pop
Sounds like a
culture. I listen to those through Amazon Alexa.
Yeah, it's available on podcasting platforms, and you can install it as a skill and just get the morning updates.
Look at that.
With your coffee and your breakfast. The coffee and breakfast is not included. You have to provide that yourself. Andrew does the rest for you.
Terms and conditions apply for the coffee and breakfast.
It's like when that comes on, I'm like, why, hello, Andrew. How are you?
Good morning.
He comes to greet you every morning.
I know. It's like, yes, I would love to hear about the pop culture headlines.
Yes, please.
Tell me.
All right. Missy, what you got for us?
Well, based on the first blog post here, I think saying blog a little bit scary might work out. Because this morning, I'm going to talk to you about the Conjuring villains and how they are ranked spooky to paralyzingly scary. And this is by Dana Marquez. I don't watch these.
Because they're paralyzingly
scary. Paralyzingly scary, right? The 8th installment brims with atmospheric tension and jump scares, but most importantly, it has a frightening villain with a truly evil goal. But let's put a pause on that. Before we get into the latest villain, let's go over the most chilling villains of the Conjuring universe. Without further ado, this is going to list the 7 scariest Conjuring villains ranked from pretty spooky to absolutely dreadful. And this is at side.show/spooky scary. And just, no thank you. When it comes to creepy dolls, I can't.
I think it's going to be an amazing article, but no thank you. I'm not reading it.
yeah. I'll read the article. I won't watch the movies. The article will tell me everything I need to know so that I don't have to watch.
That is
those.
True.
Yes.
That is an added benefit of checking our blog. Dana did the work so you don't have to.
Just look, the image right there. Those are my 2 no's. Give me ghosts or whatever, but don't give me a doll and a scary nun. Just don't do it.
Sounds like a very well-written article that I have no intention on viewing.
She has a line, and it's crossed it.
Yeah. Clowns too, not a few clowns. But I don't think there's clowns.
I don't think there's any clowns for Conjuring.
No.
Yeah, you're safe.
Of all the things that they do have.
For some reason, clowns are my weak point. I couldn't watch it. I couldn't. No.
Yeah, just no. But we move from spooky to, oh my goodness, so happy and so very in love with the series. We're going to take a dive into Loki episode 2, the biggest takeaways from the variant, also by Dana. And last week, Glorious Purpose introduced us to the bureaucratic agency known as the Time Variance Authority. It is an almost all-powerful organization, only taking orders from the timekeepers who are responsible for keeping the sacred timeline intact. Here are the biggest takeaways from episode 2 of Loki. Warning! This contains spoilers from the second episode of Loki. But hopefully, you already watched the show on Friday that talked about all the spoilers.
We gave you a weekend.
Yeah. And you can find
watching
this.
this the second.
You've
The
got till
second I'm up.
tomorrow for a new episode too.
Yeah.
So
Catch
And
up.
I feel with this series, like it's about the progress and the journey, and someone can tell you the ending, but it really doesn't make sense unless you've seen all the clues as they go along. So I think this one's a little bit different on the range of spoilage, so to speak, that you can get.
warning, your spoilage may vary.
The spoilage
That's
level
beautiful.
is a little low on this one, but
That's beautiful. And I have to, this short link is probably my favorite today. Side.show/is it Wednesday yet? Because, and the thing is, after episode 6, I'm going to be devastated. I'm like, this is too short. This is not enough content.
Yeah.
Give me more.
What do we have after Loki? Have they announced
have a
which one is
break.
up next?
they gave us a break.
We don't want it, but I think that there's a stopping point.
I think Ms. Marvel and Hawkeye are up next, but yeah, I don't think we have dates confirmed for those.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's a huge bummer. But for these stories and more, you can go to side.show. I did it again, sideshow.com/blog. But we know the other one works
The other one does work.
Ashley Brienzo on Facebook says, "What if is next?" which I completely forgot about.
Oh yeah,
with all original cast voices.
Oh, it's gonna be
their animated one.
That's gonna be good.
That series was one of my favorite because I love alternate universe theories and stuff like that. I don't like to think about it for myself, but in fiction, love alternate universes. And I have like 50 of the original like what if runs because it was just so fun to see Marvel writers go like, well, what if this was a little different? And I like that we're getting some of that with Loki and the variants and stuff. Bring on the multiverse.
Right.
Speaking of shows that we love to stream, Robin, you want to take us through what we've got this week?
This week in streaming. All right, fine. I'll have to make up my own theme song. We got an interesting mix of what's streaming, and the first up that's hitting Disney Plus June 25th is an oldie but a goodie, and I don't know how many people have seen this, but it's Adventures in Babysitting.
Full disclosure, I have not seen it, but I have been told that I should because I know that
you will. There is something for you in there.
Well, then I'm going to watch it when it hits streaming.
There is, and this is where we get to spoilage. There is a Thor surprise in there, so this is. I'm surprised.
I love that phrase, a Thor surprise.
I'm surprised out of everybody that you haven't seen this movie yet. So this is a 1987 classic directed by Chris Columbus, starring Elizabeth Shue as Chris Parker. When her boyfriend cancels her date, she agrees to take on a babysitting job, but then her friend calls with a cry for help, like, come get me, this horrible thing happened. So she's like, okay, but I'm stuck with the kids, so I can't leave them. I'm going to take them with me. So soon things don't go according to plan, and now she must save her friend and get the kids back home before the parents get there. And one of the fun things for me was this also featured a young Vincent D'Onofrio, and that ties into the surprise Thor. So
yeah, it's so crazy to see that and see that Vincent D'Onofrio. That's just young and
young and ripped Vincent D'Onofrio. So that is Adventures in Babysitting, and they're bringing it back on Disney Plus June 25th.
Okay, well, I will mark my calendar. I will finally watch it.
Yeah,
that to rest.
You have to finally watch it, and we're going to quiz you next week.
Ooh.
So make sure that's on your weekend streaming. The next on Netflix, also debuting June 25th, is The Ice Road. And this stars Liam Neeson and Lawrence Fishburne. This film follows a group of truckers who must drive on a thawing ice road in order to rescue miners trapped in a collapsed diamond mine. Written and directed by Jonathan Hensley, who is best known for Jumanji, Die Hard with a Vengeance, and Armageddon, this action thriller premieres June 25th on Netflix.
What a resume!
I know, and Die Hard. That's my gig. That's my thing. So it's just a must watch. I also recently watched Liam Neeson in The Honest Thief. So that was a good good film too. I think it looks like I'm on a Liam Neeson kick this week.
Netflix is going to pick up on that and start suggesting a lot of
I
Liam Neeson.
know they're going to be
They're
like,
all
this is
good.
what's popular and trending, and it's like, no, you're lying. So I would suggest checking out The Ice Road on Netflix June 25th. Now, going over into series on Netflix on the 24th, we have Godzilla Singular Point. And they had me at Godzilla, so I'm going to have to watch this. In 2032, people investigating two separate houses for different reasons suddenly hear the same song in their heads. When they find each other, they're led into an epic battle for the world with powerful creatures all around them. So I'm not sure how this will work with little tiny humans and kind of like a mystery and Godzilla, but I'm willing to stick it out and watch Godzilla Singular Point, and that's on the 24th.
Yeah. The art looks really cool in this show.
Mhm.
I don't know anything about the plot really, aside from the weird descriptions that are offered, but the art looks really cool.
Like I said, they had me at Godzilla, so I will definitely watch that. Now, the premiere of season 2 on Hulu of Motherland Fort Salem is set to hit on June 23rd. And this is set in a world where the U.S. signed a peace accord with witches during the Salem trials. And the series follows 3 witches who are enlisted in the U.S. Army. They are trained to use their powers and must stop a terrorist group known as Spree, which is another group of witches who oppose the military conscription of the witches that are there with the U.S. Army. So it's like two opposing witch forces with magic. So it should be cool. Again, this is the premiere of the 2nd season of the series, Motherland Fort Salem, and it's on Hulu beginning June 23rd. So if you're into witches and other witches fighting witches who aren't supposed to be fighting witches in the first place, then this is for you.
Get
That
your
was witch
witch
inception.
fix.
A witch fix, yes. So that is what's streaming.
Very nice.
Cool.
And again, Adventures in Babysitting.
Mhm, mhm.
25th. I've got it marked.
But I don't know.
And
Ice
the
Road
whole
Truckers
time
crossed
you
with Liam Neeson.
I saw this I think last year. I watched it and the whole time I was like, oh, this is going to go bad. Don't do that. Don't do that. I was talking to myself throughout the whole Adventures in Babysitting. Like, no, don't do that.
Oh. What is everybody else watching? I see Mike Fiala in YouTube says, didn't Liam Neeson do another cold weather movie, Mr. Plow or something? I think that's a Simpsons thing, maybe. But maybe he did. I'm not
Gray.
He was the Plow King, I think.
Have you guys ever seen the series Ice Road Truckers?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's again, Amy. What the hey?
I spend my time reading.
Like apologizing for reading.
I read all my comic books after.
Rot your brain once in a while.
Oh my gosh, it's a real job. And then once you watch the series, because there's some parts up north that are only accessible at a certain time when the waterways ice over. So these truckers have to bring in supplies, but then you're like, man, I hope they're paying you a lot of money for that because crazy stress, like just trying to drive across ice, which is crazy. But if you haven't seen it, I think that's a good watch to pick up a couple of those shows because I really stopped whining about any complaints that I had about my job. Really. Like, okay,
really puts things in perspective.
Yeah, a couple of those some deadliest catches. You're like, no, I'm comfortable.
Too. Yeah,
I'm comfortable.
Yeah. I had a better appreciation for, seafood. Like, okay,
This is why it's pricey.
right. And again, I was like, I'm not going to complain, not one bit about my job, man.
I'm still making my push through Fringe again. I think I'm in season 3 now. It's really taken me back because I watched that. And I remember watching that live, and I haven't seen it since. So this is only the second time I've watched the entire series. And it's still pretty enjoyable. And I finished Trace over the weekend finally too.
Oh, awesome!
That's a really cool show. If you're into the Constantine kind of vibe of anime, very cool.
On YouTube, Alex Cutler says, I just started watching Billions. And on Facebook, Declan Doyle says, I'm watching Thunderbirds, a classic show from 1965 with puppets from the UK.
Nice.
I know the exact one.
I know that show.
What about you,
How about
Missy?
you?
What are you watching?
We have one episode of Sweet Tooth to go because it's all based on work schedules. And I went back. I never watched on HBO. What am I watching? The Outsider. So
Okay.
I've jumped into some Stephen King because I missed it when it was like, fresh and new. It's not that old, but I'm very much
It's a good
going
show.
through that because Ben Mendelsohn is amazing and Stephen King is also amazing. So
Yeah, it's a really good one.
yeah, it's creepy.
Very, very nice.
We
Very
have
nice.
Ron 6751 in the chat says Liam Neeson is doing one type of character ever since Taken, and Ron, I'm okay with that.
Mhm.
Like if you
It
want
works.
yeah, like if you
Because
want,
Mike has rebutted. He clearly has a specific set of skills.
yes. And I have to say, in The Honest Thief, he used that specific set of skills. He was actually a retired Marine demolitionist. So yes, I'd like to watch him blow things up in that movie because it was a different theme. He was blowing things up as opposed to the Taken where he was just running and chasing. So
Yes.
you have to pick, what kind of Liam Neeson film you want. And I am more than happy that he's doing this role in slightly different versions, so you can pick. It's a variety. It's a variety pack of Liam Neeson. So Ron 6751, I think you should just open yourself up to the experience.
Who wouldn't love a variety pack of Liam Neeson?
Let
And
Liam
again,
into your heart.
the whole reason I got to watching The Honest Thief was because of the algorithm and the what's trending on Netflix. It is evil and it's not. I don't know why it's suggesting these things, but it does. So, and if you guys haven't lived your weekly life according to what's trending on Netflix, I highly recommend it because you watch stuff you normally wouldn't watch ever. So.
Curry Katsu over on Twitch says, I just finished The Tunnel, a Korean series about a police detective who accidentally travels 30 years into the future to hunt a serial killer.
Ooh.
All of those words together interest me very greatly.
He accidentally traveled to the future? Okay.
But to hunt a serial killer, I mean, if you're going to do it, that's effective, hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully it was very effective for him.
He hasn't been a serial killer for those full 30 years, I hope. It's like he started the investigation and traveled.
Where
and
were
was
you?
like,
The last 30 years we were tracking this guy.
left the file on your desk. No one's picked this case up yet.
And on Sunday, Rick and Morty came back.
Yes, it did.
Yeah. Yep.
There was a whole countdown and everything.
I gotta watch that.
I'm still pushing my way through Angel season 4. It's a little tough to get through, but we're on the Eliza Dushku episode, so it's all worth it.
So you're happy right now.
And I took a break from all my other shows to stream some Critical Role catching up. They did this one-shot game where it was just like it wasn't technically canon, I don't think, but it was half of them playing their characters from one campaign, half of them playing their characters from the other, and they all fought each other to the death, and it was great. It was like 5 hours. It was so fun. It was like D&D is not made for the players to fight against each other in like serious combat. Like there's like, you could cast spells at each other occasionally. It was so broken. It was like, I'm not going to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it. If anyone in the chat is a critter, but one person's character came out on top and took down nearly everybody else on the other team. It was good. It was fun.
Yeah, I could pulling like a player character, like battling against a player character that's got to be insane.
Matt Mercer basically put them in Thunderdome and then
Yeah.
go for it. It was great.
Oh, well done.
All right. Well, we've got some more people sharing their shows in the chat, but I think this is all that we have time for this week. We got to wrap it up because there is that Unsealed and Revealed happening just in a little bit at 10 o'clock Pacific. Again, going over the Michael Myers Deluxe 6-scale figure from Sideshow, complete with his telephone cord, which is one of my favorite accessories.
Pretty well.
Little bit morbid, but I'm very excited about that one. So you guys should tune into that at 10 a.m. Pacific. Again, if you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, or the Let Your Geek Side Show Facebook group, I think also maybe Twitch. It should be in any of those places. So stick around for 20 minutes and refresh, and you should be watching live. But thank you guys so much for joining us. Again, we are live every day at 9 a.m. Pacific. So a different group of people will see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. for all the rundown of these great features and more. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And as always, don't forget to let your geek side show.